Wow. This is so amazing. I love this passage. I always have been fascinated by this whole image of Jacob and his adventure. And this time it really struck me that he is kind of trying to make a deal with God. He's bargaining with God. Oh, man. But I thought about it some more, and you know what? In times of uncertainty, isn't that what we do? Oh my goodness. This week has been really stressful with the stock market going to low points that we don't want. And anybody who's lucky enough to have like a retirement fund or maybe any investments have been very concerned about the numbers going down and the losses that people are experiencing. The war, listen, this is so stressful. I've been reaching out to different families on the island who have a young person in the military. We are praying for them. Lots of our families on the island know what that means. And even whenever we're in New London, where the Coast Guard Academy is, and we're at the train station or at a restaurant or something, we see the young men and women. Sometimes they're in uniform. Sometimes they're not. They've got the short hair. They've got the posture of people who stay physically fit and are ready to be brave. They have the self-discipline in the midst of this uncertain time. And we are all feeling the anxiety about the future, all this uncertainty, and it's kind of nerve-wracking. Oh, and somebody was just mentioning how we're so close to Groton and the nuclear, okay, we don't even want to think about that. So have you ever had a time in your life where you're like, I'm nervous, I'm scared, and I'm praying a lot in a certain direction. I'm praying to God, and it could border on bargaining. Like, hey God, if you could just make this work out, then I will be so good. I will get my act together. I will never do anything wrong ever again. Right? And I think that's a natural, normal feeling. It's not the most mature thing to do. But it's part of our relationship with God that at least we're turning to God and trying to engage in a way. I mean, I shouldn't stand up for bargaining with God. It reminds me of when I was taking an introduction to logic, the philosophy class, when I was a freshman and in college. And they were talking about, there are like if and then statements. And there's like if and only if. And this guy, Jacob, our ancestor in the faith, he's a little bit like that. Okay, so he's wearing his stolen clothing that he took from his brother's best outfit. And he has run from the family home because, he tricked his dad into giving him the blessing. And supposedly he's going to get the whole inheritance, or the double inheritance, instead of his brother Esau. So there he is. He's on the run, and he has a major journey ahead of him. But instead of a bunch of luggage and a really nice transportation situation and a whole bunch of cash for the food on the journey, he's got the fancy clothes, and he's got like a walking stick. And that's basically it. Wow. And as we mentioned a few weeks ago, the journey to Haran is going to take him like weeks. Maybe even months. I don't know. It's bad. It's a long way back to his ancestral home. His mom, Rebecca, he's going to go see Laban and see if he can find a nice wife. Okay, so it's the first day out. The sun has set and it's dark, and he's like, I can't really walk anywhere in the darkness. I better lie down and get some sleep. So he takes this pillow. He makes a rock his pillow so he doesn't get a crick in his neck. And he's trying to sleep, but listen, it's kind of like maybe he's going to have a nightmare because he's afraid. What if Esau chases him? It's only the first day out. If Esau were angry enough, he could chase him. It could catch up to him. He could probably, borrow one of the dad's camels or whatever and definitely overtake him. It's a possibility. Thankfully, that doesn't happen. But instead of a nightmare, God gives him a gift. It's like this amazing vision. God appears to him in a dream And what he sees is like a stairway to heaven. Sometimes it's described as a ladder. I read a new translation this week that described it as a ramp. This word is only used this one time in the entire Old Testament. In the whole Bible, this is the one time that word is used. So it's some kind of direct connection with its base in the earth where he was, and it goes up to heaven. And what does he see? He sees angels of God ascending and descending on it. Somehow, angels of God, like messengers, those who bless, are going up and down on this bridge thing to heaven. So I read a Jewish commentary that said, listen, if the angels are ascending from earth to heaven, that means they've already come down from heaven. Somehow, God is already sending messengers to encourage us and help us and bless us in our lives. Somehow, there's this connection that God is making between earth and heaven, and it is for blessing, it's for help. And then God has this gorgeous, wonderful, amazing gift. He repeats the covenant promises that were made to his grandfather Abraham and his dad Isaac. He's like, listen, Jacob, you're in on the promises too. Not only am I going to bless you, I'm going to help you, but the world is going to be blessed through you and your offspring. I'm going to make it happen. So he's got the meta of the blessing, and then he says, you know what, I'm making it personal. Listen, I'm with you now, and I'm going to stay with you. I'll be your God, and I'm going to go on this journey with you, and I will provide for your needs. In fact, this land that you're on right now, I already promised it to Abraham, your grandfather, and your dad, Isaac. Literally, you're going to come back. I will not leave you until I bring you back to this land. Your homeland is going to be where you will be further blessed. And I'm going to stick with you through all this whole journey ahead. And listen, we find out later it's going to take years and decades for him. But God says, I'm going to be faithful, and I won't leave you until I bring you back to your homeland. Wow. So Jacob wakes up and he's like, I can't believe this. This is so cool. He's in awe. And he's like, this place is so special, I did not even realize it. And he's reflecting on God's grace. And then in the next thing he does, he kind of falls back asleep. And in the morning, he's like, okay, I'm awake. The sun is up. I'm going to put this pillow stone and make it a pillar. I'm pouring some oil on it to make it special so that when I come back, I'll see it and I'll remember this is the place where God gave me the vision and the promise. And I know he's going to help me. I've seen those angels, the messengers of God, the presence of God are with me now, and he's going to be with me the whole way. Whatever comes, I'm not going to really be alone. Wow. And then Jacob gets into a little bit of the bargaining because, you know, the whole thing with his personality style is he's like, I want to make a deal, and I want to make it clear who's getting what. And instead of receiving the promise, he's like, are you sure, God? Okay, so like, if you do watch over me on this journey, and you give me some food to eat, I need a lot of food because I'm going to be hungry. It's hard to walk this many miles. And please, plus, I'm going to need new clothes. After this fancy stuff is gone, I'm going to need some help here. And then you bring me back to my father's household. Okay, then you'll be my God. Okay, I believe it. If you do all that stuff, I will definitely belong to you, God, okay? And I'll have this stone set up as a reminder. And you know what else? I'm going to give you 10%. I love him. He's like, you know, you're giving me 100% because I have nothing right now. And I'm going to cut you a tenth of that, okay? How does that sound, God? But you know, tithing is biblical, and his grandfather Abraham did do that with the guy Melchizedek. So it's definitely, I think that was probably passed down in the family. We got to give back to God 10% of what he has given us. Hey, that's cool, actually. If all of us did that, that would be amazing. That would build up the church even more and make the world a better place. So instead of criticizing Jacob, we should say, hey man, he was trying to do the right thing. Okay. So now he's ready to be on his way. Now, one of the commentators that I read, she pointed out from a Reformed Christian faith point of view, we shouldn't get too hung up on the place being holy. Actually, the only holiness is God. Only God alone is holy. So it's good for us to remember where this amazing experience happened, but it's actually the presence of God that we need to honor. It's actually the experience of God and God's promises, God being with us, that will be actually wherever we go. That's the thing that we need to hold on to. We don't need to get caught up in which exact location, which rock, which special oil pouring on the rock and making up rituals and making up kind of stuff like that. We need to think about our relationship with God. Are we going to be people who receive the promises of God and are grateful? Or are we going to try to make God specify? All right, so I want you to answer my prayer, and I'm making a list, and I'm checking it twice of what I really want you to do to fulfill your promise. That's actually transactional. It's taking the covenant and trying to turn it into a contract. Oh, it's our human nature to do that. Oh, isn't that so true? We are all tempted to do that. We are prone to take God's goodness and try to cash in on it in very practical ways. We want this, we want that. Oh, we make it like we need it. We need more of, we just need more of everything, God, right? Well, I wanted to share with you a way that friends of mine wrote a song that kind of updates this. All right, so it's a song by the folk band The Welcome Wagon, which consists of the songwriters and main musicians are Monique and Vito Ayudo, and he's a minister and they live in Brooklyn. And we've been friends since 30 years ago at Princeton Theological Seminary. And Monique is an artist and she teaches at a preschool. She's an art teacher. And this song they wrote in 2017. The song is Light Up the Stairs. And it imagines that we are in the subway. We're in the New York subway system. We're on the MTA. We've gotten off the train and we're about to go up, up, up. From below the sidewalk up to the sidewalk. We're going to where we're going. We're on our journey. And the stairs, we want God to light up those stairs for us. And here's what it says. The seaweed grows on the ocean floor. We ate it all and we wanted more. So let's think about that. God provides food, natural food. There's seaweed. It's growing on the ocean floor. We're so grateful for the food God gives us. We eat it. And you know what? We need more, right? We've got meals. We've got food. We want more and we need more. And then a little voice comes to us, and it's the voice of hope and faith. God will give us food. Wow, God will give us food. Let's trust him. And then it continues, and if you look for the stairs above, they're made of light. They're made of love. God will give us food. We need to look up. We need to look for the stairs that are going to lead us to where God wants us to be. And these stairs, God is preparing it for us. Somehow, angels are involved. There's a bridge. There's a staircase. There's some kind of ramp. God is making the way. And it's because of God's love. God's stairway to heaven, God's way for us, is made of light and God's love. God will give us food. And then the answer comes, and we walk with heads held high right up the stairs. Right up the stairs. God, light up those stairs for us. Wow. And when I first heard this, and they're coming out with their album, I got to proofread the label with the lyrics of the songs. And I was like, hey, Vito, were you thinking about Jacob's ladder going to heaven, and you moved this ladder, and it used to be in the desert, and he was hungry, and there were like rocks everywhere, and you changed it so that there's something about the ocean and the seaweed and being near the beach and lighting up the stairs instead of being in a remote place. It's in the middle of Manhattan. It's in Brooklyn. It's somewhere on the MTA, those stairs that God is making for us to light up. He's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't think so, but you could interpret it that way. So I wrote a little review of it. It might be on their website. I don't know. The song is so encouraging because instead of the transactions and the holding on and wishing for more and asking God and trying to make demands and lists of God, it's about trust. God will give us food. God will light up the stairs. He's going to make the way when it seems like there's no way. God is already doing it. So beautiful. And after worship, if you want to see the video with the lyrics and the image that he took, I think he filmed the scene of the lighting up of the stairs. I think he did it on his camera, on his phone. And there are friends of theirs who are artists who work with video made it into a cool thing. So as we think about this, it's really amazing to me. The lectionary said for today, listen, I made up this whole Genesis idea, right? Back in the fall, Genesis, we're marching our way through it. Today, it says, at the end of this Ephesians passage, sleeper awake. Rise from the dead and Christ will shine on you. And I was like, Jacob was the sleeper and he woke up and the beautiful light of God's light and Christ was shining on him through the stairs. And that's a message to us. We got to wake up from trusting in the things of this world and wishing that our 401k would be really excellent, and wishing that, any stocks and bonds and whatever, we're just going to go up, up, up. We need to not put our trust and faith and hope in the stuff of this world, because we know that doesn't last. We can't take it with us. Yeah. I just felt so convicted by this whole situation, and I pray that God will bless you as you ponder this in your life today and as the week unfolds before us. Amen.